skill sets, and they work in the area which matches their skills, ability, and interest. Now, I am representing eMango, that is education management on the go, and it's not related to the learning or any platform to do with the online teaching modules and all those. It is basically managing the education. Now, when someone seeks the job, तो जॉब कोई बच्चा जो स्किल्स उसके पास होती हैं उसको मैच करती हुई जॉब ढूंढता है, या जिन एरिया में उसका इंटरेस्ट होता है उन इंटरेस्ट एरिया को मैच करता हुआ जॉब ढूंढता है. बट at the time of choosing the career, not enough importance is given to the aptitude, personality, and interest. Although, yes, there are psychometric assessment. All the educators must be aware of the psychometric assessment. We check the API, that is aptitude, personality, and interest of a student, and mapping them. Uh, by mapping them, a best fit career is chosen. However, we have seen and observed in the last 2 years of our research in this field that जो साइकोमेट्रिक एग्जिस्टिंग साइकोमेट्रिक असेसमेंट है वो स्केल अप नहीं हो पा रहे, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट टेकिंग देम सीरियसली. या तो वो उनको बोरिंग टेक्स्ट बेस्ड टेस्ट लगता है, या फिर वो कंटेक्स्ट नहीं समझ पाते हैं, या फिर उन्हें लगता है कि जो हमारे टेस्ट का आउटकम आना है पेरेंट्स ने तो वो कराना ही नहीं, उस करियर में डालना ही नहीं, तो they are not taking the test seriously. So there is a problem with that. We are trying to solve that problem by gamifying the test, so that at least the boredom part is gone away. Student take it seriously, understand the context of the test, and by using the AI and ML, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can suggest the best fit career to our students and what are the best paths to move on that career. If you allow me to share my screen for a moment, just hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible, Nitin.
Okay. So eMango, that is education management on the go, that I already mentioned. There's a problem that we are trying to solve, that conventional ways of choosing a career and admission planning in India, especially, are not the best ways. Now, what are the conventional ways? Students generally choose their career stream, colleges under the influence or the guidance of. It is not only the influence, at times it is guidance as well, but from the parents, peers, societies, families, teachers, etc. But are the above people aware of the following things? All the career options that are available. I might be knowing 7 careers, 10 careers. If I'm a career counselor, maybe maximum 40, 50 careers. But all the career options that are available. What are the importance of child's ability, personality, interest, and what are the paths available to reach at the epitome of the career? Maybe teachers and principals might be knowing this, but do they have enough time for that? Now, choosing the career in a conventional way may lead to the following things: dropouts, unemployable degree holders, as we have been mentioning time and time again, that employment is no more the problem, it's the employability that is a problem. Restlessness, and very rare, in extreme circumstances, it may lead to the suicide as well. These are mere assumptions. We have some facts for that. This is the Hindu news, which says that 2,461 students dropped out of IITs in the last 2 years after doing all the hard work and everything. 94% of the engineering graduates are not fit for hiring. This is the Economic Times news. A suicide is attempted every 90 minutes in India due to various reasons, but this could be one of the reasons. These are Times of India news. Now, what our offering is that students should be in the habit, or parents should be in the habit of exploring the career. First, every career should be explored in detail. When I say in detail, means not only कि उसमें सैलरी कितनी है, मेरा वहां हो जाएगा कि नहीं, ऑल द एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ द करियर, कैसी स्किल्स चाहिए होती हैं उसके लिए, मेरे लिए बेस्ट फिट है, मेरे एपीआई को मैच करता हुआ है नहीं, कौन से काम करने होते हैं, क्या क्या ग्रोथ है, कौन सी इंडस्ट्रीज में काम करने को मिलता है. ऑल दिस एक्सप्लोरेशन शुड बी, a platform should be there where students can explore these careers which the platform which is not biased. And after exploring the career, student should be able to give a psychometric assessment in a gamified version to find out the best fit career for himself or herself. Now, once he has best 4 to 5 best fit careers for himself, what are the paths to follow? What entrance exams are there? And what are the colleges? What are the scholarships or internships available? Now, this is, I have tried to make a chart out of it. The intersection of aptitude, personality, and interest. We can consider the orange bubble and blue bubble and red bubble as aptitude, interest, and personality, and the green bubble as an intersection of that. So, any career that lies in the intersection should be the best fit career for a student. These are simple survey that eMango conducted, where 92.4% of the parents, we conducted a survey on around 1,000 people. It says that 92.4% of parents need a platform to explore careers, colleges, and exams. And 94.4% of the parents think that scientific ways of choosing a career using personality, interest, and aptitude can help them find the best fit career. Our platform's uniqueness is our career library. It is a one of a kind career library where every information we are giving in the form of animated videos, audios, and everything. We hate text like anything because we know students, parents, they are not going to go dedicatedly take time and read a lot of text. Then our psychometric assessment, as I already mentioned, is in the gamified version. Even its report that will come out, that will be an animated video form, क्योंकि report भी कोई नहीं पढ़ता है, इतनी लंबी 15-10 पेज की report no one goes through. And ease of access to use this platform. We are working with the R&D department of IIT Delhi in order to gamify our psychometric assessment. This is our core team, Professor Purnima Singh. This is the HOD of Psychology Department from IIT Delhi. Sunil Dangi is my co-founder. Unfortunately, he is not here today. And I am Nitin Nagpal. This is Dr. Vijay Pandey. He's a very famous psychometrician. He's in France and helping us from there. This is Meera Iyer. And these are our team. And we are trying to make sure that all these information is available to the students from school's own website. Student does not need to go here and there. On the school's own website there should be a link. On that link, student should click explore career and do everything. I'll just give you a short example where we have put this link on one school's website. And on this school website itself, you can see there is a option called explore career. There, you just click the explore career, student can go ahead and explore all the careers. Now I would like to show you a very small demo of the video. For example, as I said that we hate text like anything. These are small video. These are our own videos where we have tried to give the information in the audio visual format to a student. Please pardon me with the voice. It is a little less right now.
Knowledge of marketing? Do you like writing content? How good are you at social media? Hi, I'm Tanisha Quadra, your career coach at eMango. Let's dive right in to find out how you can use your passion and turn into a career in digital marketing expert. What is digital marketing? How to become a digital marketing expert? What are entrance exams, colleges, scholarships in India and abroad? What are the job prospects and salaries? Is it the best fit career for you? Does it suit your interest, personality, and skills? A digital marketing expert is one who puts together
So we have in 3 minutes we have tried to give most critical information.
Abroad universities like Harvard University,
Some of the universities, what are the salary growth in India, all this information we have tried to give. Now a student, as I said, can explore a career. There is a detailed career library of more than 400 careers. Suppose sales manager is a career he can go. What are the skills required for a career, its future prospects, what are the salaries, what are the paths, various paths through which he can reach there, what are the works that he will do, what are the top colleges, in India and overseas? What are the entrance exams in India and overseas? What is the professional growth? What entry level, what you will be at mid level, at senior level, what you will be. You can explore the entrance exam, scholarships, and colleges for this. What are the skills, personality, and aptitude required? Future prospect, what is the current prospect, what is the near future, long term future, what is the job trends, whatever the number of jobs in 2017, 18, and 19, what is the growth of salary at entry level, middle level, and senior level, what is the salaries across the globe and all. The student can explore all the careers from here. Now once he knows the career, he can find the best fit career. अक्सर ये सवाल पूछा जाता है बच्चों से, आप क्या बनना चाहते हो? Now, students do not have the answer. These are mascot. His name is Hero. He can help by playing a short game. The students can know what are the best fit career for himself. After knowing the career, again he can explore all the entrance exam. कौन सा है? All the entrance exams are there. There are more than 500 entrance exams of India. Luckily, we believe they must be reduced though. And for example, one exam is there, what are its opening date and everything. A student can shortlist that exam, and once he shortlists that exam, if he wants to appear for this exam, that exam goes into his wish list. Under my profile section, his will be his wish list. Now he will have an entrance exam wish list where this exam is there. As soon as he adds the exam or any college into his wish list, the automatic notification whenever the form opens, and automatic notification 1 week prior to whenever the forms are going to close, will be sent to the student on their WhatsApp mobile number or any information that is.
You're not audible, Mr. Nitin.
Nitinji, you are on mute now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Oh, I'm sorry. So was I not audible throughout, or I just happened to go
Just few seconds back.
Okay. So I was saying is once anything is in wish list, an entrance exam wish list, college wish list, scholarship wish list, and uh, internship wish list. So whatever he puts into wish list, he will get automatic reminders for that. Whenever the forms open, he will get a reminder कि he will get a notification on his number कि form open हो गया है. जब खत्म होने वाला होगा एक हफ्ता पहले ऑटोमेटिक नोटिफिकेशन विल बी गोइंग ऑन कि ये फॉर्म खत्म होने वाला है, चाहे वो कॉलेज का हो, एंट्रेंस एग्जाम का हो, स्कॉलरशिप का हो, या फिर इंटर्नशिप्स का हो. So this is the small platform that we have come up with. Then if he wants, he can connect to the counselor from here itself. There will be a lot of freelance career counselors who will be here, and the student can connect to them from here itself. So this was it. Thanks you, Arjun. Thanks everyone for listening out to me.
Thank you, Nitinji, for highlighting, how we can use technology, to arrive on that decision, or to, help us in finding right career for ourselves. Thank you, Nitinji. We'll come back to you with questions. Now, I would request Dr. Deepika Yadav, a professor with SRM University. Dr. Yadav, you represent that higher education world. In fact, many educators who have participated in leadership talk have maintained that unless we connect the higher education with the school education, we won't be able to achieve the desired fruits. So I would request if you can share your perspective on NEP, Dr. Deepika Yadav.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my voice is audible now, sir?
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, so I'll start with the CBCS curriculum that we have implemented to bridge the gap between university and job industry for our university. And I believe that school team also helps student to bridge the gap between the school and university. So in a way, one is related to university or the school. We are bridging the gap. So in that way, we are related to each other. So actually, the CBCS, that is the choice-based credit system. Here, choice-based means choice of multiple courses, and credit means class hour per week. That carries additional importance in credit system. So here 1 credit system is equivalent to 1 hour of theory teaching, and also 1 hour credit is also equivalent to 2 hours of practical that is being conducted. So in simple word, I would define that it is basically the CBCS, that choice-based credit system that we have implemented is a student-centric approach to learning or acquiring a higher education. So choice-based credit system provides a convenient, at the same time effective teaching, learning platform wherein the student or knowledge seeker has the flexibility to choose their own course from a list of open elective, departmental elective, and soft skill courses. Core subject, of course, will be a mandatory requirement. For engineering stream, first year is common for all branches that include basic sciences subject, yoga, and personality development courses. And from second year onwards, core subject will be introduced stream wise. So we at SRM University follow choice-based credit system syllabus for Triple E department, which provides opportunity to Triple E students to enhance their own skills and knowledge to meet industry expectation. Apart from foundation courses, we have open elective for our curriculum. List of open elective courses is selected in such a manner so that student can acquire skill of learning. We at SRM University give opportunity to student to learn German, French, or Japanese as a foreign language for open elective. Uh, as per Industry 4.0, which is referred to as Energy 4.0 in power sector, that is the digital transformation in power sector that is taking place. So student will be trained basically to learn application of electrical engineering in various other domains like IoT, Internet of Things, cloud computing, Python, big data analytics, machine learning, neurofuzzy, genetic programming, AI, and cybersecurity, etc. So all these domains, how they'll be related to electrical domains. So this is another new sort of subject that has been created. So along with that, various other choices of management subjects such as economics and principles of management, industrial engineering and management, intellectual property rights, innovation in technology, etc., are also part of our curriculum for overall holistic development of student personality to be created during our course. Similarly, our fine-tuned and specialized curriculum cover list of departmental electives which deals with study of advanced topic related to power electronics and power system, electric vehicle, renewable energy, microgrid, smart grid, etc. Our department also follow innovative practices to enhance students' skills by encouraging them to learn via MOOC courses, that is massive open online courses, by using online platform of NPTEL, etc., where students do their assignment and study along with it. Faculty member also trains students with GATE preparation to enhance their skills to get into core companies. Also, we have semester abroad program where SRM University is having tie-up or MOU signed by various international university where students have liberty to go there and complete 1 semester, and the credit will be automatically transferred to their degree. Also, I'd like to inform that as per CBCS syllabus, one complete, that is the 8th semester, is dedicated for industrial training for 5 months duration. And our aim is basically to provide opportunity for students to get familiarized with the industry of their own discipline and discover the organization within the industry. Along with various other, like we also provide industrial visits from time to time are arranged for students to know the application part of it, as well as students have to prepare various major and minor projects from time to time under the guidance of faculty members. Also, I'd like to mention that if Indian students want to pursue their higher education in European countries, then they have to have a UG degree of 180 credits. So here we give opportunity to students to earn 185 credits for their respective courses by adding various value added courses to it. So basically, my aim is to create a multidisciplinary approach for our student so that we can equip them in a manner so that they are able to face challenges of real world. And later on, not just job seekers, but as per our logo of SRM University, learn, leap, and lead in a way so that in future they are confident enough to open up their own startup or to enhance their own entrepreneurial skills in a way serving mankind in a better way with multidisciplinary approach. That's it from my side, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deepika Yadav. The for highlighting how, and in fact, I really believe, and many educators have also maintained that this, flexible entry exit system would, would help us in, in bridging that GR, the poor GR numbers, and eventually would create more employable, which Nitin Nagpalji also, highlighted, would help us in creating more employable graduates. Thank you, Deepika ji. Will come back to you with questions.
Yes, sir.
So now I would request Mr. Alistair Fernandez from Fatado School of Music. Alistair, the music itself has been mentioned in NEP document more than 20 times. So this is for the first time where the government has recognized, in a formal way, the importance of co-curricular activities. Correct. So I'm sure we are all excited to hear your perspective on, this side of education, particularly music. Alistair, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry I cannot put on my screen because my internet is acting funny. Anyways, I have a PPT to share, but before starting that, I would like to express, being being from the creative background myself, I'm a musician myself. So being from the creative background, I really feel that the most amazing part of this entire initiative is the integration of arts and music with the mainstream academics. So this ensures that every child, I feel, every child can experience this as a part of day-to-day learning, and something that we can, something that we have seen in most countries that follow for many decades now. So I'll be just sharing a PPT with you all. Just let me know if you all can see the PPT.
Yes, it is visible.
Great. Yeah. So I'll be talking about, how Fatado School of Music has contributed in the holistic development of a child and how music helps. So I'll just give you all a little brief about what Fatados is about. A little about us. Fatados was established in 1865 and has always been a leader in the field of music instruments, accessories, print music, and digital equipment. Fatados holds a record number of international dealerships for top of the line brands in music, and instruments are also imported from across the globe. On the other hand, Furtado School of Music, that is FSM, we were founded in July 2011. So it's been like 10 years now. And we are heading with a vision to make quality music education accessible to children and individuals, young and old, making the entire learning process fun-filled, joyous, and memorable. So through our offline model in schools, we have touched the lives of over 75,000 students. We are present in over 145 plus schools, and we have 15 centers across the country in major cities in India, and also some other cities like Akola and Hyderabad and all. So under the school program, FSM invests in all music instruments and designs the music room in the school premises. We also depute well-trained music teachers to the school. So all are these benefits that, meaningful experience, um, instrument proficiency, as I said, infrastructure as we invest in that. We also provide workshops and master classes, and we have expert teachers who who also contribute towards meaningful education. These are some of the schools with which we are associated. Some international schools like JBCN, we have SVKM, we have Bombay Scottish, and the list goes on. Yeah. So, along with education, FSM truly believes in giving students a platform for them to come together and showcase their talents. And with that in mind, we have curated multiple music festivals to help students display their talents. Bandit is one of such events in which inter-school music competition. It's a national competition. Um, so people, so the students, they form their school bands and they compete with other schools. We also have piano concert where students who have an interest in classical music, so they can take part in this concert. And apart from that, we have other small group events within our centers. Well, we are also partnered with Berklee College of Music, and also with NMIMS, which is one of the top 10 business schools in India. Well, post COVID, while the whole world, including US, was affected, we quickly had to change gears and improvise our action plan. As they say, the show must go on, right? So we moved to online method of conducting our online classes, and have met with a huge success and appreciation from parents and students alike. Along with music, excuse me, along with music and non-music classes, we have also conducted online classes for corporates like HDFC, HSBC, etc. We also have been having weekly meet and greet sessions with our students to help them perform online and get insights and tips from our music coaches. Yeah, we also have workshops. So we have our online instrument learning programs, and students can choose a group or solo sessions, and teachers teach them online. From time to time, we conduct our online summer and winter camps. So this uh, obviously this creative says summer workshop, but as we speak, we also have winter workshops going on. Well, so while we successfully managed to transition to the online model for teaching, we did not want the events to be left behind. So we determined that we would not allow 2020 to put breaks to our events, which was such a thrill for schools and students and us alike. So Bandit 2020 was our first physical event which moved online, and we had a huge turnout of students who participated in both the bands and solo categories. Also, to end my presentation, I'd like to say music is a powerful message, one that inspires to all to pursue their dreams and be an effectual anchor on days when they need more support. So FSM, in its small way, seeks to make this a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alistair, for suggesting how music can increase the efficiency, and certainly music is that powerful tool
Mhm.
to connect everyone. Thank you, Alistair. Right. So
Happy.
with this, we
Hmm.
yeah, thank you. So with this, we come to the last part of this session, which is the question part. We have received many questions, so we would like to present these questions to our key speakers. No, so uh, So before I start presenting questions, I'll take a minute in explaining, what exactly we are doing at School Lalaji Solutions, and immediately after that, we'll start presenting questions. So I'll share my screen here for a minute. Some of you are already aware with the with the School Lalaji Solutions, we are India's largest one-stop solution provider for educational institutions. So we are currently present in 42 cities, working with some around 4,500 educational institutions. School Lalaji Solutions help institutions in three ways. It helps institutions in buying right thing from right people at right price. Also selling their old stuff like their old buses, generators, or furnitures or some other old stuff which they want to sell to other schools. It also helps institutions in raising money, that may be in terms of loan or fee financing, and there are some other ways of doing that. Why there is a need for a platform like School Lalaji Solutions? You already have your old suppliers. Your team is having expertise. You already getting good discount from your existing vendors. So why you need a platform like School Lalaji? Why? In India, we have tens of thousands of educational suppliers, educational companies, and many new companies are coming up, as Sanjeev ji shared, like Byju's and some other tech companies. You know, but it is becoming very difficult, for those companies to come to you, and also for school leaders to identify right companies with right product for their school. You know, so here we come in the picture. We understand your school, your taste, your actual requirement, your budgeting limitations, or that kind of preference. And accordingly, we talk to those companies. We filter their products and we negotiate with them. You know, then we recommend those companies to you. These are the areas where we are working. We are helping institutions in procuring right smart class, right smart class solutions for their schools. Uniform insurance, diesel. Yes, we are supplying diesel, delivering diesel to many schools in primarily Delhi NCR at a cheaper than a market price. Solar plant, language labs, security solutions, furniture, recruitment, music classrooms, healthcare, robotics, STEM, STEAM labs, career counseling, stationery, digital marketing, IT solutions, educational tour, generators, learning tools, finance. And we take the guarantee that will save at least 5 to 7% of your annual expenditure. So that's kind of a 5% additional revenue generation. Just one example, 2 crore 40 lakh rupees was the amount which we saved for different institutions in one category, that was bus insurance in 2019. These are some major highlights we did for different partner schools: 8 megawatt plus solar installation, 3,000 plus bus insurance, 4,400 plus smart classroom, 2,000 plus cameras, 350 plus training programs, 56 old buses we sold from one school to another, uniform in 42 schools. So with this, by the end of 2021, we aim to reach out to 10,000 institutions. We need your support, your guidance, your blessings. So thank you. And with this, I end this here, and I'll start, ask presenting questions. So I would request Prerna ma'am if I can present first question to you.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So Prerna ma'am, this question has come from Miss Priyanka Gupta. Priyanka ji is a Spanish teacher with Genesis Global School, Delhi. Priyanka ji has asked, what will be the education criteria from 6th grade onwards? Or if you can highlight, 2, 3 key changes in our education system post NEP implementation.
Changes basically will be, first of all, we have to make our children skillful. We have to prepare them for the vocations, and that's the reason we have started with the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach, wherein the main and core subjects are being taught with the help of the co-curricular subjects. So this will be the first step which has to be taken. And second thing is that the students right now, if we say that the new normal, in this new normal, children should adapt themselves in both way of learning, that is the online and offline mode. So these are the two main aspects. And if we talk about the third thing, and that is the readiness and the acceptance by the parents too, because what we are looking ahead is that will the parents be able to accept this kind of changes? Because as Archana ma'am has already said, that when the report cards come in front, so parents look into the marks that the child has obtained, not what the child is excelling in other subjects or other co-curricular activities. So I think we need to counsel, we need to change the mindset of the parents also. And for that, I think teachers, they play a very important role. So three things are very important. One is the skill development, upgradation of the knowledge, and third thing is the attitude of the parents and other stakeholders. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I will come back to you. I would request Sanjeev sir if I can present this question to you. This has been asked by Miss Tanya Kapoor. Tanya ji is a teacher with Sumitra Modern School, Sitapur, Uttar Pradesh. The question says how to make our online classes more creative in present scenarios. So I recall you mentioned during your talk that your teachers used to share a lot of suggestions on daily basis. So I believe you have the treasure of suggestions. So from that treasure, if you can share some.
See what happened initially when we started online classes. Initially, see, the Zoom was Microsoft Team. After 2 to 3 months, they came very aggressively. Zoom, thanks Zoom that they have given for education institutions, they can use unlimited time they gave. So initially when we started these classes, what happened? Teachers were also not that trained. So students, they are digital natives, we call them. So they used to use annotations. When the moment that the teacher used to share a screen, they used to fill them with annotations. They used to write all the nonsense on the messages, poking some other students suddenly coming out. But see, you need to train your teachers continuously. We told you the training of teachers is a very important aspect in this entire online model. Teachers adapted day one the problems what teachers had. Today, go and ask them. They'll say that no, I know how to disable annotation. You ask them, I know how to mute a child. I know how to disable the messages. This is the way we kept on training. This is one way. Why students are doing in this way? This is the second part. You are not engaging students properly. Online teaching has its own protocols. It is not like a classroom teaching. You are standing on a board and you are trying to explain. Then what will happen? A child will. I see my son and daughter. If it is a physics class, our physics teacher is a very strict teacher. They sit in front of the screen. If it is some other teacher I see, they switch off the screen and they have their breakfast during their class. This is a very common thing. I think you must have observed in your homes also. So teacher a proper lesson planning has to be done. In that particular lesson planning, how are you going to engage the child? That is you have to sensitize the child. You have to there is a paradigm shift in teaching model. So therefore your teaching also has to change. In this, the thing is you have to engage the child. How are you going to? By conducting quiz sessions, by asking questions, telling them keep your screen on, so that the child should not feel that no one is monitoring my class. So this is the way you need to sensitize the child. You need to engage the child. You have to change your lesson plan. The lesson planning you had, the delivery model which you had in your classroom for face-to-face teaching, you have to bring few changes in it. And I think teacher is the best person to plan because he knows all the problems. He doesn't need a lot of expertise over it. It is the teachers who can bring it. Thank you.
Absolutely. In fact, I recall one thing which Archana ma'am said, during her talk, that teacher need to behave like that artist, which must know how to grab the attention. So the online platform, I would say, teachers, their skill to grab that attention. So absolutely, this is my kind of personal curiosity, sir. It becomes more difficult for a teacher when his principal is also a parent, so they can get the real-time feedback, right?
Yeah, actually, see what happens. No, whenever I'm home in the morning, normally I come late to school as I have to stay back till the evening. So I see my kids what they are doing. So I implement my plans according to them. And I think everyone does the same thing. It is not only me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sanjeev sir, will come back to you. Archana ma'am, I would request if I can present this question to you. This has been asked by Miss Pratima Rathor. She's an assistant teacher with Navrachna Vidyani Vidyalaya, Vadodara, Gujarat. Pratima ji has asked, what are the schemes for developing ECC at rural areas mentioned in NEP? If you can highlight two points or like two areas in NEP, that would help developing ECC primarily in rural parts. Archana ma'am.
Yeah, basically, what is been asked in about in NEP is we need to work on the foundational literacy and numeracy. And we cannot do it by using books. We cannot, and rural India, we cannot invest a lot of money on things that needs to be done. So what can be used is, I think storytelling is a very good way of doing, increasing your literacy. You can tell stories that makes things interesting, and play way. I mean, a lot of games can be played where a lot of calculations can be done, a lot of using simple things that are available, like you have different kinds of dal. You can use that to ask a child to sort. That way you make a child realize the different shapes that are available there and the different colors. You can specify those things and you can ask them to sort out. So what happens is a child's logical thinking and processing starts, their coordination increases, and then there are these simple, you can use, I know you can't afford to buy that much of Play-Doh for a child in a rural school for children to play. You cannot even ask a parent to bring that much, but we always have ready supply of atta at home. So you can ask the child to bring atta, and then we can ask them to mold, use it to make different shapes, different things, and that these things we need to adapt and use in everyday life to make ECC more interesting for children, help us in, reaching our goals that are there for in the ECC that we need to introduce. So we have to find ways which will make it easy without financial burden on schools, with things that can be easily done in a rural concept where kids come from a background where they don't have access to unlimited amount of money. So we need to find these things for our children. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Archana ma'am. Uh, I would request Mr. Nitin Nagpal, Nitinji, if I can present this question to you. This is about the flexibility in terms of choosing subjects, at 11th, which has been mentioned in this NEP. So, what is your assessment? Will it create a more conducive environment, or will it help the students in, or it would increase the confusion?
Yeah, thank you, Rajul. Yes, as I've been mentioning time and time again, more options means more confusion, but at the same time, more opportunities. So yes, there will be confusion कि अब maths के साथ physics के साथ music ले लिया तो अब क्या बनेगा? We can find the ways to solve those confusion. For example, I was showing my eMango's platform, then we have tried to take care of that, wherein a student can just simply choose which subjects he has in 11th and 12th, and the careers will pop up, which careers he can go to. We have tried to make sure, because luckily when we were making our platform, NEP came across, so we made those changes. But yes, having said that, the methods to do away with those confusions can be there. There could be some other methods as well, but yes, a lot of opportunities are open. अगर बच्चे ने साइंस ले ली तो जरूरी नहीं है आप उसको साइंस के साथ ही माथा मारना है. Choose the area of his interest for the career. So yes, that's my take on this.
Thank you, Nitin. With this, we come to the end of this session. But before I invite our speakers for their concluding remarks, I must thank all our speakers for participating. I'll begin with Prerna Mitra ma'am. Prerna ma'am, big thanks for joining. You talked about teachers' education, and you highlighted how this NEP is going to help us in empowering our teachers and eventually attracting bright people, talented people to come, to join as a teacher as their first choice. In fact, many people believe, almost everyone believe that teachers are the soul of any institution. But ironically, teachers, most of the teachers, they haven't opted teaching, as their first choice in profession. You also talked about, NCFT, National Framework for Teachers. You also talked about that this NEP offers a focus and attention to teachers' recruitment training process. You also then talked about Parak, and you highlighted how it is going to change our assessment. It would take us towards the competency-based assessment kind of system, and eventually you elaborated that takeaway plan. For us, you talked about preparation, learning, and applying and nurturing. That would be the key. Thank you, Prerna ma'am. I'll come back to you for your concluding remark. Then, Sanjeev sir, you talked about the use of technology. Absolutely, I personally find myself in complete agreement with you, sir. Technology can't replace institutions, and that the teacher, you know, but absolutely teachers need to adapt with the technology. A lot of experts believe that in next some years we are going to see schools with 5 lakh students, 10 lakh students. In next 5, 6, 10 years, we are going to see those kind of schools. So you talked about teachers made laudable efforts during pandemic. Absolutely, we all agree with that part. And you know technology is going to support schools. It already did during the pandemic. Thank you, Sanjeev sir. I'll come back to you for your concluding remarks. Archana ma'am talked about the importance of early child care education, and she was very right when she said like this NEP has uh, created that awareness around that portion. And she also talked about there is no regulation for preschools. The 5 years foundation years, or those well elaborated things in NEP. Then she also talked about implementation is going to be key. So I would again just recall that quote. Implementation is the only reality. So we have seen a lot of good policies, a lot of good initiatives by government uh, has not beared, has not received that desired fruit because of the poor implementation. So thank you, Archana ma'am. I'll come back to you for your concluding remark. Then Mr. Nitin Nagpal talked about why we must stress upon the process of choosing a right career. In fact, we also organize a lot of career workshop with schools. So I always maintain that we don't choose career. Career is nothing. We always choose a way of life. When we choose to become a lawyer, we are going to live a life of a lawyer. When we choose to become a doctor, we are going to spend our life as a doctor. So that's very important. Thank you, Nitinji. And then Dr. Deepika Yadav ji told about that point, that area which is in their NEP, that credit based choice system, the flexible entry and exit flexibility. So and then Alistair talked about the importance of music. Big thanks all our key speakers and participants. So with this, I request our speakers if we can have your concluding remark. Also, we have established one very interesting practice. While giving your concluding remark, I would request if you can also share one innovative idea which you would like to implement if you become the Minister of Education of our country. What would be your priority? जो आप कहेंगे करना तो है ही, ये तो करना ही है. So I'll begin with Nitin Nagpal ji. I'll come randomly, so that you can't fix your answer. So,
Okay.
Nitin ji, what would be your priority as Minister of Education?
Okay, as a Minister of Education, only for one day, huh? I will do something
तभी
so
तभी
that
सभी
I'm
का नंबर आ
closing.
पाएगा सर, एक दिन के लिए बनेंगे सब.
अच्छा. ये वो अनिल कपूर का मूवी है ना. I will try to do something so that I am chosen the minister for the next 5 years. Anyway, 7 to 10 classes for students, 7 to 11. 11 to 1, everyone goes to play, even the teachers. When I say play means playing on the board, playing on the ground, painting, drawing, कुछ भी कर रहा हो. और उसके बाद 1 to 2 class for the teachers, and that class should be made in such a way कि 1 बजे का वेट करे टीचर्स कि मेरी वो क्लास कब होगी.
Wonderful. तो
I
उसके लिए
know that
आपको
is very
आर्टिस्ट
tough,
उसके लिए
but
आपको
yes.
आर्टिस्ट ढूंढने पड़ेंगे. उसके लिए वो जो
Hello.
अर्चना मैम ने आपको बताया, you need to find those artists who can create that magic. एंड वो अभी भी है. जैसे संजीव सर के स्कूल में फिजिक्स के टीचर हैं, तो उन्होंने बताया कि बच्चे वेट करते हैं एंड दे डोंट डू एनीथिंग. Right. So thank you,
Exactly,
Nitinji.
exactly.
Thank you, Nitinji. So playing would be your sports, and the play would be your attention as Minister of Education. Thank you, Nitinji. Now I would request Archana Thapa ma'am. Archana ma'am, if I can come to you, your concluding remark, and what would be your priority as Minister of Education?
Yeah, as the minister, there is one thing I would like to do is that every term, every school will have to upload their goals in art. What art development, what did the child do in each class, what art project basically they did, and sports. Which sports did they play? Because in our school, what we have is we don't have, they don't play any sport. Every child plays a sport which is the sport for that month, so that they are exposed to all the sports and they are able to. We are also able to find out what they are good in, and then projects and nature walk. I would really want that we should sensitize our children towards the environment. There should be some walks so that they come to know. There is a lot of learning that happens when a teacher is walking along with the child, and and she listens to the children's conversation, and then she tells them, she guides them, she teaches them. A lot of things are taught during that time. So that should become a compulsory part of every school every term. I cannot say every week, every day, because but in a term we can always allot days for these things. Of course, sports and arts are a permanent part, but projects, nature based activities can always be for a term. So this is what I would enforce on schools if I were the education minister. And
Wonderful, wonderful.
basically, yeah, about the NEP, I hope that if it is implemented and when it is implemented properly, and all schools, it's implemented in all schools, then hopefully that parental and teacher mindset will change, and we'll be able to do wonders and we'll reach the sky. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. That was very, very innovative, ma'am, and absolutely, more proactive involvement, from parents is needed, for to achieve those learning outcomes. Thank you, Archana ma'am. And now I would request Sanjeev sir, sir, your concluding remark, and what would be your priority, your innovative idea as Minister of Education? You are on mute, sir. Sanjeev sir, you are on mute.
See, when I belong to Dehradun, it's full of boarding schools. Uh, Once I was going through a newspaper, I read when Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister of India, and he was also a student of Doon School, which is in Dehradun. He dreamt of coming up with a similar school in India from where he studied, and he had that vision. And you see, especially for rural India, he wanted. Then he started Navodaya Vidyalayas, and Navodaya Vidyalayas, they work on the same pattern of how a boarding school works. Kids are 24 years into 7 schools, they get full opportunity as boarding service. That is the type of vision you need, and especially in education, you need such visionaries. When I see my school is again almost a 5-star school. When I pass on to some of the village, because I'm in outskirts of the city, I see government schools, they are in very pathetic condition. Schools with 2 rooms, 3 rooms. एक स्कूल के ऊपर हवा आया, पेड़ गिर गया, 2 साल तक वो पेड़ नहीं उठा उस रूम के ऊपर से। तो ये बहुत बुरा हाल है सरकारी स्कूलों में। और ये पूरी पैंडेमिक में इनकी सैलरीज इनको पूरा मिला गवर्नमेंट टीचर्स को। अगर मैं आज के डेट में अगर मेरे पास पावर होता तो सारे प्राइवेट टीचर्स जिसको सैलरीज नहीं मिल रही सबको सैलरी दिलवा देते।
तो आपको फिर फाइनेंशियल मिनिस्टर का भी एडिशनल चार्ज दिलवाना पड़ता सर?
एज एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर आई वुड हैव अप्रोच्ड अदर मिनिस्ट्रीज कि ये प्राइवेट स्कूल की टीचर्स को ये अन्याय है, उनके साथ सैलरीज नहीं मिले। गवर्नमेंट स्कूल टीचर जो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं उनको आप पैसे दे रहे हैं, और जो सच में काम कर रहे हैं, जूम ऐप, फ्री वाला ऐप, इधर से फ्री उधर से फ्री जुगाड़ करके किसी तरह बच्चों से कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, उनको सैलरी नहीं मिल रहे हैं। तो ये बहुत बुरी हाल है। तो इस चीज पे जरूर मैं ध्यान देने बोलता हूँ।
Absolutely. That was so I would say a sad.
This is a very pathetic condition in India. Ki teachers, especially private school teachers, as seen, they don't know, there are no norms, no policies, there is nothing. So that is one area. Teachers ki well-being, पे में ध्यान देते हैं.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sanjeev sir. You highlighted that one very important area, teachers' welfarement. In fact, when we can have a Kisan card, or when we can have those kind of schemes, why we can't have such schemes for teachers? There may be a lack of some organized efforts, from teaching fraternity. So, with this, I come to Dr. Prerna Mitra ji. Prerna ma'am, your concluding remark, and what would be your priority as Minister of Education?
After listening to so many experts, I got a lot of ideas. So coming to Sinha sir, I really empathize with all the teachers, because teachers are actually one of the important COVID warriors. And as said by Nagpal sir, that the show must go on. So teachers were instrumental in keeping this show on. So coming to the point wherein I'll tell about my school, Army Public School. We are based on the principle of discipline, punctuality, and the grit and the firmness that we carry, and we instill the same thing in our students also. So in case I am made this education minister, so I'll definitely like that. I should be at least in the school, at least the entire day, wherein I can know how the teachers are working, how the leaders are working, and also be a part of the classroom. That is, I'll be with the children and I'll see that what are they learning when the teacher is teaching in the classes. So this will be my role as a education minister, if I made an education minister for one day. And also I would like to just give my thanks and acknowledgement to the India International Education Council for inviting me to this platform once again. And as said, that new education policy, it's like a vast ocean, and we need to delve into it so that we can take out number of and plethora of jewels of knowledge. And with the changing times, we need to adapt ourselves. So with these concluding remarks, my heartfelt thanks to each one of you. It was heartening listening to all the experts, because everyone had given a variant viewpoints which had highlighted and covered all the key areas of new education policy. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajul, once again.
Thank you, Prerna ma'am. And absolutely, but after listening your that idea, I just feel that teacher would be a teacher. Even after becoming Ministry of Education, your heart would be inside the school only. So thank you, Prerna ma'am. So in the end, I would say if we continue to follow the same processes which we have been doing for years, so I believe today in this time we are not going to achieve the same results. The time has changed. The methods are also need to be changed. So with this, I thank all our key speakers: Prerna ma'am, Sanjeev sir, Archana ma'am, Nitin ji, Dr. Deepika Yadav, Alistair Fernandez, Sujata ji, everyone. Big thanks for joining and making this 80th session a truly special one. Thank you. This is the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again.